One of the 12 jurors that found Jeffrey Lepsch guilty in the Mays photo double murders is talking for the first time. Juror number 1081 talked about the trial, the verdict, and why he is certain they convicted the right man. My first question is, how hard was it, or how difficult was it for you to find Jeffrey Lepsch guilty?
With the evidence and the testimony, it wasn't very hard.
What was the most compelling piece of evidence for you?
Just the fact that all the evidence that was at his house, in his van, you know, the one camera, and everything pointed to him. There was no other suspects.
And I'm curious about that too. Were you surprised about the defense just calling two witnesses? Were you expecting more from the defense?
I was. I really was expecting, you know, a lot more from the defense.
What were you thinking when it was, you know, when it was two witnesses and then they rested?
A little shocked, but I mean, we just go off of the facts they give us. So.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it may have helped to have Jeffrey Lepsch testify in his own defense?
Honestly, I don't know if that would have helped him or not.
Take us inside the deliberation room. What was deliberations like? It lasted about 4 hours. What was that like in the room?
Pretty intense. Everyone, you know, asked really good questions. The jurors were very professional. But like I said, with the facts, the evidence, and the sworn testimony, I mean, it was relatively quick decision, I think.
Are you 100% sure that the right man was convicted?
100%.
Yeah. Why do you feel so confident about that?
Just the evidence that was given in the sworn testimony. I mean, in my opinion, there was no one else.
Was there anybody in the deliberation room, the jury room, that came in and thought, I'm not really sure he's guilty at first, or were most people pretty convinced?
I really can't say what anyone else felt.
Mm-hmm.
I think we did a good job. Everyone, you know, we had good discussion, and everyone did their job.
Yeah. Were you convinced walking into that room that your vote was going to be guilty?
Walking into the room after I heard all the testimony and all the evidence, yes.
What's the most important thing, you know, you think people should know coming out of this case?
I hope everyone knows that we did our job. You know, we had to take the emotional aspect out of it, and everyone there did their job. We did what we were there to do. There are no winners in this case. I think, you know, we found Jeffrey guilty, but it's the families that'll have to pay the price.
Yeah. How long is this going to stick with you, do you think, this whole experience?
I don't think there's something you ever get over.
Now, Derek Moe told me today he did this interview with us today because he knows how big the trial was for the city, and he wanted people to know the jury carefully weighed the evidence and came to a verdict that they could be sure about.